Welcome back, America. We're here with a good friend of mine who you're familiar with, Bret Baier. I like to have him here every time he has a new book coming out because these books are spectacular. He and I share something. We share a lot, but history in particular. He writes these books on presidents that are absolutely killer. And he's got this one, To Rescue the American Spirit, Teddy Roosevelt and the Birth of a Superpower. And let me tell you, this is a great book. You can get it at Amazon.com. And the thing about Teddy Roosevelt, as I went through your fantastic book, Bret Baier, is what a complicated man. In many ways, almost politically schizophrenic by today's terms, I guess. And yet what a powerful man, both internationally and domestically. And one of the things right up front that you talk about is he issued over 1,000 executive orders. So, you know, people say, look at Donald Trump with his executive orders. This guy was spitting out executive orders left and right. How would you sum up this man's character and personality? Because it's pretty complicated.
Yeah, Mark, thanks for having me on. Listen, this is a character in history that jumps off the page. And this book is, you know, it's the sixth of the presidential biographies that I've written. And this one is just so rich. And that's why I think it's a page turner. How I would characterize him is bold. You know, he gives this speech after he leaves the presidency about citizenship. Eventually, it becomes known as the man in the arena speech. But it essentially says, you've got to get in the game. You have to be playing. You have to be in the moment. Otherwise, you're on the sidelines and you're throwing grenades from the outside. And his whole life is about being in the moment, being present. This book focuses, as all of my biographies do, on a soda straw moment in which he believes that America should be at the forefront of global leadership and that the world without America is a much worse place. The world with America is a different place, and America needs to be there.
He's a populist, as you point out. He's a nationalist, as you point out. He is an interventionist. He's a hawk, to underscore your latter point when it comes to foreign policy. He is celebrated in the pages of a very liberal magazine, The New Republic. He wrote for them. He wrote his own essay and book called The New Nationalism and so forth. I'm very familiar with him. How would he fit into today's politics? I think by personality and character and strength, there is a similarity with Donald Trump. But in other areas, there's similarities and there's differences. Where would you peg him today?
That's a great question, and I do see similarities with Donald Trump. I do see the force of personality, the bombast, the interaction with the press, the realization that he'll take any question to be on the front pages and to control the moment, to suck up the oxygen. There is this battle in his ideology between progressivism and conservatism. I do think that, you know, you couldn't define him really. He did have this populist side to him. He was somebody who stirred up the pot. From his time in the New York State Legislature to New York City Police Commissioner to Assistant Secretary of the Navy. He leaves that to go to get the Rough Riders and fight in the Spanish-American War in Cuba. He comes back, he becomes New York governor, and then vice president. But the reason he's vice president essentially is because the party says, we're done with this guy. We don't want him in the mix, and we'd like to put him in some place that doesn't cause any harm, which is vice president at the time. 6 months later, McKinley is assassinated, and he becomes the youngest president at 42 years old. He keeps McKinley's policies for a little while, but then he becomes his own man and really changes America.
You're so right about that. He was governor, and they tried to get him out of there, and they did get him out of there because, you know, it's the financial capital, New York. I don't know if it'll remain that after this next election, but it was. And as you know, he was a trust buster, and he was no friend of big business. In many ways, he was this progressive.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.